Hello, everybody. Welcome to the SEC Preview Show on CBS Atlanta. I'm Guy Rawlings, and the man to my right who can talk all night, that is Wayne Gandy, and 15-year NFL veteran, former Auburn Tiger. If anybody knows about SEC rivalries, you would know.
And I told you to keep that Auburn thing kind of low.
It's been a little rough for the Tigers this year.
But this is why everybody loves the SEC. Week in, week out, top 10 matchups. Once again, in action, Georgia, Florida, the cocktail party, something you know a little bit about, going on in Jacksonville. Hurricane Sandy might put a little wind on the action, but it's going to be hot and heated.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a blustery possible. And I got to tell you, Wayne, these guys defensively have been really, really tough.
And they're going to get even better. They got Rambo coming back.
Right.
They got Ogletree coming back. Jarvis Jones already proven that he can carry the load by himself. Everybody started the season thinking about the offense. The defense has definitely made it their story. They've gone out against teams that throw the ball, run the ball, and have shown up every Sunday so far. 4-0 Georgia. It's about Georgia when it comes to this game. It's not so much about what Tennessee can do.
Right.
It's about Georgia. They're looking like a very complete team.
The guys you mentioned, Rambo and week to week, we've been seeing a lot of points being scored. This is not your SEC, the conference you played in back in the day.
No, it isn't. The fun and gun came in with Steve Spurrier, and teams started throwing the ball around a lot. But if you watch the teams now that are back on top, LSU, Florida, Alabama, those teams, even South Carolina, they're playing D and running the ball like the old SEC.
One of the teams that has been scoring
every single week, which is play with passion and try to execute.
Yeah, whatever, Coach. Don't want to talk about last year, because you lost last year,
Right.
But you have an opportunity to win this year.
Trust me, guy, that is not what he told his team. He comes into this game wanting to make a statement. Vandy still knocking on the door of proving that it belongs in the SEC. Trust me, he used anything and everything he could to get his players up for this game. But Georgia coming into this game ranked number 5, looking for big things for the season, really showing that they are a team to be contended with in the SEC East.
They got to be one of the most talented teams in the country.
Well, the one thing I like about this Georgia team this year, teams of the past, you kind of thought the mentality of them were not tough. This year, when you watched the game last week against Vandy, what a lot of people thought was a trap game, you saw this Bulldog team go out and handle business. It was no doubt that they came to play. Forget all the who's bickering and what coordinator and coach has a problem. It was about the players on the field. The defense totally shut down Vandy's offense. And tomorrow, I think it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be about the Georgia Bulldogs defense setting the pace. We know what they can do on offense. We know what those two running backs can do, Marshall, Gurley. It's going to be about that defense, and can Tennessee move the ball against the defense?
Right. In fact, Georgia's favored by like 13.5 points. On CBS Atlanta, I'm Guy Rawlings, and kaboom! Guess who stepped in the room? He is former Auburn Tiger, 15-year NFL veteran, Wayne Gandy, and you know a little something about football.
Yeah, I know just a little bit, and I'm very excited about tomorrow's action, not just in the SEC, but in college football, period. There's some huge games going on, but none bigger than the SEC. It should definitely be an exciting Saturday.
That's right. When you talk about the Tigers, their offense has been looking a little lackluster the last couple games. And I mean, especially against Auburn and Towson. What's
I like how you
there?
say especially Auburn. You emphasize that.
Oh, thanks, big fella.
But the LSU the offensive team, I don't think they know the season has started. They struggle no matter who the opponent is, like Coach Miles just said. Their defense last year and the years before would make those plays, those interceptions, those fumbles that would give them a short field. This year, they're having to make those plays themselves, and they're just not getting it done. A lot of it lays on the feet of Zach Mettenberger at quarterback. He's really not making enough plays in the passing game for this team to really be a top 5 team, in my opinion.
Yeah. Last year, things got a little heated towards the end of the game and afterwards when coaches kind of went at it, Wayne.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Todd Grantham, head coach of Vandy, James Franklin, had their words. Some of the players as well had words at the end of the game, which sets up a game that usually people overlook because it's Georgia Vandy to be a heated battle tomorrow.
It could be tighter than people.
right there scoring. Johnny Manziel doing all he can in the air. It's a balanced attack when you watch this Texas A&M offense. They're top 20 offense. They throw for about 320 yards a game. They rush for about 250. That's all you can ask for when you're talking about football. If I can get 500 yards of offense, somebody make a defensive play, because this Texas A&M offense, even though it hasn't really faced a good defense since the Florida game, I think really can produce big numbers as the season goes. It'll be good to see how it can do against the number 8 defense in the country.
Right, 5-game win streak since that Florida game. Moving on to Alabama, the top team. All right, Wayne, let's roll through these. LSU at number 18, Texas A&M. That's a noon game. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Johnny Manziel at home. I think the shootout, he should win.
Okay, Auburn at Vandy. That's going to be on our sister station, Peachtree, tomorrow.
Yeah, Auburn, Vandy favored. I mean, does that sound right? I'm going to go with the Vanderbilt Commodore.
Okay, 11th-ranked Georgia at Kentucky.
Should be a blowout by the Georgia. Good to see how they do after this bye.
Middle Tennessee State University at number 12, Mississippi State.
Mississippi State still undefeated. Say that enough times and see how that sounds.
It's hard to believe, right? They played twice last year, and this is round 3 to show kind of the SEC West dominance.
Yeah, third time in a calendar year these two teams have faced each other. Last time in the BCS championship. When you look at this game, this tells you the story of college football. There's two Alabama, 2 LSU championships in the last 6 years, dominating once again. You know, last year's game, the game of the century. At least at this point, November 3rd, this game is the game of the year. Number 1, number 5, once again locking horns, almost mirror images of each other when you look at this game. So, you know, it's a lot on the line as usual when LSU and Alabama meet.
And it's funny, you bring up the BCS titles, a couple for Alabama, a couple for LSU. The SEC has won the last 6 of them. If LSU wins this game, it takes the SEC out of that loop.
Yeah, it does. When Alabama, if they drop a game, then the Kansas States, the Oregons, the Notre Dames, they jump back into the national championship picture. Like I said earlier, it seems like everybody's pulling for Notre Dame to end up there once again. But when you watch this Bama team, I think they have the mental to really run the table once again. But if you're LSU, you're looking at this game from the point that we beat Bama. And if there's a one-loss team to make the championship game, it would be LSU. So you set yourself up pretty good if you win this game.
Right, you know, and you're saying, okay, Bama shut out LSU last year, 21-zip in that championship game. They're going to need some points this year.
Yeah, well, Les Miles, I have to disagree with you. Zach Megenberger, when you're 109 in the country in passing, I don't know what you're reading, but you're not reading the right thing. But this LSU team is built just like it's been over the last couple of years. Defense, running the ball, Jeremy Hill, Spencer Ware, Mike Ford, Kenny Hill. You put them in, let them run the ball. As Kevin Sumlin from Texas A&M said, I can't tell the difference. But this game is going to come down to, in my opinion, not just A.J. McCarron, but Alabama's offensive line. When you look at this offensive line, Barrett Jones, DJ Fluker, Chance Womack, they are what's going to separate who wins, because I think that front 5 can control LSU long enough to give Alabama and Amari Cooper time.
Vad came in during that BYU game because Tevin didn't really get his vibe going, getting his grind going.
Yeah, when you go out, you start losing, like they say. First we got rid of the defensive coordinator. Now we got to figure out the quarterback situation. So losing breeds this kind of insecurity. So Paul Johnson better right this ship quick.
This kid, Owen Smith, is pretty good, too, averaging 9.9 yards per carry, second in the nation for Tech. All right, let's take a quick look at some other games. Missouri at Florida. Who you got?
Florida rebounds. Jeff Driscoll, Mike Gillinsey run the ball.
I like to hear that. Vandy, Kentucky. Kentucky's still looking for their first win.
I'm hoping somebody tunes in to even watch this. I'll take Vanderbilt.
Texas A&M and Mississippi State.
Texas A&M, Johnny football for the Heisman.
All right, that's our time. Wayne Gandy, Guy Rawlings. Thanks for watching.
It's the Late Show with